It was supposed to be McLaren's moment. 2 drivers, 1 team, and a golden chance to challenge Red Bull's dominance. But at the Circuit of the Americas, that dream imploded in dramatic fashion. A first-turn clash between teammates Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris not only destroyed their sprint race, but may have shattered McLaren's championship momentum. The incident left fans speechless and the paddock divided. Who really caused the crash that changed everything? F1 commentator Martin Brundle has ignited the debate, pointing the finger directly at Piastri. His assessment? The young Australian's ill-judged move cost McLaren dearly, gifting Max Verstappen a golden opportunity to reignite his title campaign. With just a handful of races remaining, the fallout from Austin could define not just McLaren's season, but Piastri's entire career. Before we break down what really happened and what it means for the championship, make sure to subscribe, because this story might just be the turning point of the 2025 Formula One season. The drama that unfolded at the United States Grand Prix wasn't just another teammate clash. It was a moment that could reshape the entire 2025 Formula One championship. Oscar Piastri's collision with Lando Norris at turn 1 of the sprint race has thrown McLaren's title challenge into chaos, and now the world of F1 is divided. Was it a racing incident, or did Piastri's ambition push him too far? The incident began seconds after the lights went out at Austin. With Max Verstappen leading from pole, both McLaren drivers found themselves side by side charging into the steep, blind turn 1, one of the most unpredictable corners in the F1 calendar. Piastri, desperate to gain an early advantage, attempted a switchback manoeuvre on Norris, hoping to undercut him at the apex. But as the Australian tried to position his car, he was caught in a tightening gap between Norris on the inside and Nico Hülkenberg's Sauber on the outside. What followed was chaos, a brief touch, a sharp spin, and in an instant, both McLarens were out of the sprint. Martin Brundle didn't mince his words. In his post-race column for Sky Sports, he called the move ill-judged and held Piastri primarily responsible for the crash. His reasoning was simple. Turn 1 at the Circuit of the Americas is deceptively tricky. The corner climbs 40 metres uphill, is extremely wide on entry, but narrows dramatically at the apex. It's a place where ambition often outweighs logic. According to Brundle, Piastri's aggressive approach was understandable, but the opening seconds of a sprint are never the time to take such a risk, especially when surrounded by a pack of cars all fighting for space. Piastri was very focused on his championship rival, and the pack simply bit him. It was a damning verdict from one of the sport's most respected voices, and one that reignited the debate over whether Piastri's youthful aggression is starting to cost McLaren dearly. The implications of the crash went beyond the immediate loss of points. As Sky Sports' Ted Kravitz later explained, McLaren's double retirement in the sprint meant the team missed out on crucial data collection for the main race. Without that information, they were forced to raise their car's ride height to avoid potential plank wear violations, a move that compromised their aerodynamic efficiency. While Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes optimized their setups perfectly, McLaren had to play it safe. The result was visible. Verstappen dominated the weekend, taking both sprint and race victories, while Norris and Piastri were left struggling to find pace. And so the Austin weekend became a nightmare for McLaren. Not only did Verstappen slice into Piastri's championship lead, but the psychological damage was just as severe. Piastri has now gone 3 consecutive races without a podium, his 14-point lead over Norris hanging by a thread. Verstappen, only 40 points behind, is suddenly within striking distance, and with 5 races and 2 sprints left, the momentum has completely shifted. Inside the McLaren camp, the tension is rising. Officially, the team avoided assigning blame, insisting it was just a racing incident. But behind the scenes, questions are being asked. Should McLaren start backing a single driver to prevent more self-inflicted damage? Norris has been quietly consistent, finishing second in the main race in Texas, while Piastri could only manage fifth after struggling to extract full performance from a compromised setup. That contrast hasn't gone unnoticed. For Piastri, the situation is becoming a mental battle as much as a technical one. The Australian knows that every mistake now carries massive consequences. His calm, methodical driving style, once his greatest asset, has been replaced by flashes of frustration and over-eagerness. Perhaps it's the pressure of leading his first championship campaign. Perhaps it's the shadow of Verstappen closing in with surgical precision. Whatever the cause, Piastri finds himself at a crossroads. The next stop is Mexico City, a circuit that hasn't been kind to him. His best finish there is 8th, and with McLaren's struggles in low-grip conditions, the pressure to deliver has never been higher. Still, Piastri remains outwardly positive. Speaking in McLaren's pre-race preview, he said, "Heading straight into another race weekend is a good opportunity to get back in the car and work with the team to maximise performance. I'm confident it can be a productive weekend." Behind the scenes, his mentor Mark Webber is guiding him closely. Webber knows all too well the mental toll of a collapsing title campaign, and he's determined to prevent his protege from repeating history. Others in the paddock have also offered their perspective. Charles Leclerc publicly stated that he still believes Piastri has the edge over Norris and Verstappen, but he warned that advantage could vanish quickly if the Australian doesn't stabilise his form. The statistics are ominous. The final 5 circuits of the 2025 calendar, Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, are all venues where Verstappen has triumphed before. For Piastri, that means he's entering enemy territory, where every corner, every strategy call, and every pit stop will be under the microscope. In the grand scheme, the Austin incident might be remembered as the pivotal moment that decided the fate of the 2025 season. A single corner, a fraction of misjudgment, and a team that once stood united now finds itself divided by pressure and expectation. Yet, there's still time. Time for redemption. Time to prove that lessons have been learned. Piastri's talent isn't in doubt. His determination, his raw pace, his fearlessness, they're what got him here. But in Formula One, titles aren't just won by speed, they're won by composure. The question now is whether Oscar Piastri can rediscover that balance before it's too late. Because if he can't, the crash in Austin won't just be remembered as an unfortunate accident. It will be seen as the moment the 2025 World Championship slipped through his fingers. So, according to your observation, was McLaren right to publicly protect Piastri after that crash, or should the team have taken a clear stance to prevent future chaos? And as Verstappen closes in, do you believe Piastri still has what it takes to hold his nerve and win his first world title? Or is the pressure beginning to break him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our latest videos.